Welcome into the Unwritten Rule Podcast, your number one stop shop for all sports and media news. I'm your host, Monzi, and I will be taking a deep dive into some more Oklahoma football content. I thank you guys for subscribing to the channel from last video. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on this video as we enter the college football season. The Brent Venables era has officially begun. Straight like that. I'm straight to the point. We can sweep the past 2 seasons under the rug. We understand what it was. We understand that we were in a rebuilding phase. I understand that we were in a rebuilding phase. I wish the seasons, a couple of those games were played a little better and coached a little better, but I understand it is what it is. Now we have Jackson Arnold. And this is probably the best player you can have entering the SEC as a quarterback. If you think about the players from the transfer portal that you had available, I mean, for example, would you take Cam Ward over Jackson Arnold? I wouldn't. I wouldn't take Cam Ward over Jackson Arnold. Cam Ward might turn into a turnover machine. At least Arnold has some development that hasn't been reached yet, and there is a lot of potential behind him. We know he's talented. We just have to see how he can string some wins together and if he can string some winning drives together with his first year play caller in Seth Littrell. Arnold, he's focused, he's prepared, and he's talented. We've seen a glimpse of him in the Arkansas State game. We've seen a glimpse of him in the Arizona game. Only thing I didn't like in the Arizona game, and it wasn't him, I felt like Seth Littrell came with the wrong game plan. And that's not knocking Seth Littrell, saying he's not going to be a better coordinator than you know who at Mississippi State. Okay? But I do believe that Littrell should have never had Arnold throwing as much. And some of the passes that Arnold was throwing was almost like 15 yards down the field. He threw 45 pass attempts. I feel like the game plan should have been, yes, you let him showcase some of his talent, not at a high clip, but you teach him more so to win than try to build this performance for him. Like if he won, the performance would have been good for us, whatever it was. I mean, he could have threw 3 interceptions still, and if he won the game, we still would have gave him some praise and congratulated him on his first win as a starting quarterback. But hey, we move on. We're going into the next season. We have to adapt to the SEC. And as a team, I would like to see us be better strength-wise, speed-wise, and physicality-wise. We have to understand that. And I would like to see some players be able to play more than one position. I feel like we need to start I feel like coaches lack the understanding that some players are good at some things than another player. Just because someone's a second string doesn't mean that they're not better than the first string at this. You might have a first string cornerback who can't play man coverage, and then you have a second string cornerback right behind him that can play man coverage better than him. He just might not can play some zone coverage, whatever the case may be. But Arnold is going to need some help from his team. And mainly it starts offensively. And it starts with the coaching staff too. So Seth Littrell, you have to understand what your quarterback is good at. And you have to call plays that's geared to that. And some of those plays have to match with the talent surrounding Arnold. So, for example, Nick Anderson, he's not good at running short routes. He's not as good as, not saying he's not good at all, but he's not as good as Deion Burks is. He's not as good as Farouk is, and he's not as good as Anthony may be at running short routes. He's 6'4". It's understandable. A lot of 6'4" guys can't move really well. Okay? But we know one thing about Nick Anderson. He's a good deep threat. Anything that's vertical or angling upward, he's bound to catch it. All right? Or he's bound to get open. And then for somebody like Deion Burks, you understand that Deion Burks is more of an all-around receiver, but I'm not throwing jump balls to Deion Burks. The guy is only 5'9". And he may, I haven't seen him in person, but he's only 5'9", and he can only do so much. So you might want to teach Arnold, um, utilize your weapons and know who your weapons are in certain scenarios. That would be something good to teach him. And Latrell, that helps you know how to build your offense because you're not going to have Jackson Arnold forever. If you're still here with us, if you do get promoted, congratulations. If that's a future thing for you. Um, but you don't know how long you'll have Arnold. And then when you have a next quarterback, you have to build somewhat of a system around him. You keep your same scheme, but you utilize what he's good at the right times. Okay. I feel like Arnold's good at some RPOs. He's comfortable doing RPOs. And I also feel like he'll like some play action. He did look good in the quick passing game, but I mean, I couldn't see too much of it because, like I said, he was throwing 15-yard passes. So the quick passing game can only be so quick. And it's only so many players on the team that could probably go get 15 yards down the field with a crazy amount of speed. I mean, I don't really know who that is quite yet, but we shall see as the season approaches. Now, receivers, he's going to need you guys to go the extra mile. He's going to need your help. He needs you guys to go the extra mile. Simple as that. You're going to have to dive for a couple catches. You're going to have to run back to the ball for a couple catches. You're going to have to be blocking downfield. Who knows? You're going to have to give a little extra. You're going to have to be a little tougher. You're going to have to be a little more prepared of what you're going against, more knowledgeable. Okay? He's technically a freshman in this. Even though he was a freshman last season, he's really a freshman in this right now, going into the SEC. So he needs you guys to give him an extra mile. Another group that has to give him an extra mile is the offensive line. Beating Ball does a good job. I'm not worried about the offensive line as far as protection and stuff like that. I feel like Beating Ball does a good job of preparing them. I just feel like we need a mean, nasty O line. We need that. Kind of like a Creed Humphrey, and when we have Landon Brown, like we need something nasty. I'm not saying that's easy to develop. Obviously, those guys are Pro Bowlers, and one of them is the NFL champion, two-time NFL champion, I believe. If I think Creed Humphrey is the two-time NFL champion, but we have to develop those guys to be mean and nasty. And if it's straight hauling ass down the field, so fucking be it. We need it. We need sideline to sideline straight dogs. I'm talking about laying shit down. That's what we need. We need toughness, and we need it to start in the trenches. All right? We need to know that the guys in the trenches got the guy that's getting the ball and distributing it to the players on the team. That's what we need. We need to be tough up front so the quarterback can be tough out. That's just what we need, simply. Now, with Arnold, man, you have to be yourself at any and all times. We don't really know what you can or cannot do. We have a feeling of what you can or cannot do. You got to understand this, Arnold. Every game is not going to be your game. And the way this game plan is, you'll be blamed for it. You're the first to blame. They blamed you. They thought you played horrible in the bowl game. But if people actually watch the bowl game and understand what was going on, it wasn't because it was your first start. It wasn't because it's just because the game plan did not suit you at that moment. We were better off running the ball, in my opinion. We could still throw the ball, but we should have emphasized running the ball. Gavin Sawchuk had 134 yards. He did that the bowl game before that against Florida State. He did pretty good. Arnold, you have to know that your weaknesses will be found somehow, some way. It might not be early. It might not even be towards the middle of the season, but that last 4-game stretch when you got to go against Missouri, Bama, and LSU, and I forgot the team before that. I think it's like Texas before the Maine or whatever. But you have to be ready because some teams will figure you out. You're gonna have to learn how to step out of your comfort zone, and you're going to also have to rely on some of your players, but you're also going to have to be yourself at any and all times. I got faith in you. The fans got faith in you. We understand that you're going to be a great talent. We understand that you're the future of the program. The future of the program starts with you. We're known for building quarterbacks. We're QBU. It don't matter if we have Lincoln Riley or a damn Dusty Baker. Shit. We're going to build a quarterback. It don't matter who it is. We'll figure it out. But it's a lot to look for this season. It's a lot to look for offensively for us too. And hey, who knows? He may come out there, be the best best newcomer in the SEC. Who knows? He might get a second team All SEC nomination, or he might. I don't know. We'll see what he can do. But I know he's talented. I know that this is probably one of the best quarterbacks that you could have in the SEC. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of the Texas fans was probably like Arch Manning to already have played. I mean, it's something that you want. It's something that you need. But looking forward, please be ready to step out of your comfort zone. Please be ready to understand that some fans are going to boo. Some fans just don't get it. A lot of people don't know football. I understand football. I played football, and I understand it at a level of comprehension. I can break down X's and O's with you all day. I can call out a play before it happens. I can call out predictions of a season before it happens. You might be like, oh, he was wrong at this time. I might be wrong, but I'll admit when I'm wrong. So it's a lot to look at. It's a lot to look forward to this season. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the Unwritten Rule podcast. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope all of you have a blessed day. Thank you. Peace.